potato chip. Let's try that again. Hi, welcome to We Were Gamers, a podcast with JJ,
Hello,
Michael,
hey everybody,
and Andy, who actually really does have the sniffles because there's too much dust in my house. This is episode 196 of a podcast, sometimes about home ownership like it was last week.
Honestly, nothing wrong. Because really, the podcast is titled We Were Gamers, not We Are Currently Gamers. And
we have
sometimes,
to live up to that.
Sometimes you have to do things other than play games, like tear your house apart.
Yeah. That's a good lead into the fact that I haven't been playing too many games this week. I did get to watch some TV, but I'm not the only one with a medical problem. I have the sniffles / allergies due to the amount of construction dust. I have been trying not to inhale, however, has creeped its way into my sealed office.
Drywall literally is finer than the air somehow and can move through any sort of ceiling or whatever. I feel like it probably can travel through walls too.
I think whoever can crack the code on why dust stays airborne as long as it does, and then translate that to flying humans around the globe, will be an ultra quadrillionaire, because then you'd never need fuel.
I feel like it must be related to the fact that like particle physics is messed up somehow.
If you're a particle physicist, email us at wewon'tunderstandit@weweregamers.com.
Don't dumb it down a little for us.
Okay, podcast weweregamers.com if you can do that.
There you go.
Okay, I wasn't the only one with a medical issue. JJ, are you all right?
I mean, yeah, I'm totally fine. But this morning, I woke up in the morning and had just like, it's like I must have slept weird. Like I have this like tightness across my chest.
I have this tightness across my whole body.
Like I slept like with my arm across my body or something weird in a weird way. And it's like, this will be fine. Like I just need to stretch it out and like it'll feel a little better after I, get up and get moving. Whatever. Didn't really.
Didn't get away. Better or didn't get moving?
Did I really go? But yeah, no, it didn't go away after I got moving and like I went to work and it's not like pain. It's just kind of like annoyance,
Discomfort.
Yeah, discomfort. And I started like the more I kept thinking about it, the more it kept not going away as like my day progressed. I was like, oh God, like am I low key having a heart attack or something? Like
that was the worrisome text in the group chat.
Yeah,
that hung there for way too long.
I don't understand how Facebook sends those messages through that group chat that we use, because I will tell you that it was not long in between my typing there. So yeah. I don't know what happened on your guys' end.
I think Facebook did a check to be like, is this person actually dying? Should I send the rest of these messages?
Yeah. And then like while I was in line to get lunch, I just had like a sizable burp.
Wonderful.
And then all of a sudden it was like, I feel all better now. It's like, okay, I didn't need to, I wasn't having a heart attack. I just really needed to burp.
You have entered later life, I think is what has now happened to you.
Yeah, I'm old is what it turns out to me.
We were gamers where we could have eaten anything, and now we get indigestion that feels like a heart attack.
Yeah, and it's like, this weekend I'd eaten a bunch of spicy food and stuff, and it's just like...
And beer.
Whatever. Beer, yep, totally.
Yep. So. I know the beer thing because we saw each other Sunday and drank beer.
I was out most of the weekend, so I didn't get a chance to do a ton of other stuff. But, is what it is. It's good to have those weekends away sometimes. So,
yes, it is.
Get up to anything interesting in this realm, Michael?
Well, I think I'll start you off with a bizarre experience that I just had maybe a couple of hours ago, maybe not even 2 hours ago, which Andy heard a little bit of.
Oh no!
JJ, have you ever had someone, maybe a parent, maybe a loved one, tell you that you smell good?
I mean, maybe in my life at some point.
Sure, yeah.
Not a memorable
Something-
experience if it was one of those types of people, though.
Yeah, something that someone that who knows you well might say to you on an occasion. Have you ever had a random stranger at the grocery store tell you that you smell good? Because that just happened to me today.
I'm going to say no. That's weird and creepy, maybe.
It was very weird. So I was walking through the produce section and passed between like a grocery store clerk and a woman who was staring at her phone. And
Were they
as I
talking to
passed
each other?
Well, so that's where it gets weird. So I passed her by
that's where it
and we-
gets weird.
Well,
Huh.
she and I turn the corner at the same time, and I hear her say, "You smell good," and I caught it, like it didn't not register, and so I like turn around and see her holding her phone like relatively close to her face, and my first thought was, "Oh, she's talking into her phone," and then as I'm having the thought, "But that doesn't make sense," I hear her say, "Yeah, you."
Oh
And
no!
I turn around
That-
again and just
Abort,
sort of
abort, run, flee.
Oh no!
confusedly say thank you as I continue to walk quickly towards the milk and get out of there.
I must go.
I thought that was gonna be a like, oh, she was on the phone. Oh,
Yeah,
she was
that's-
talking
that's
to the
what I thought.
produce. Like,
Yep.
you know, sometimes you pick up like a, I don't know,
Out of
an
context
orange
comment.
or a guava or whatever, and you're like, oh, this is fragrant and it smells good. And you know, I'm not above talking to myself at the grocery store,
Cool.
but
That's like one of those
maybe
where,
just
like-
leave your cart next time and leave immediately.
It's like one of those where I want to like awkward turtle meme out the side of the frame and just be
The
away.
Kool-Aid man backing back out of the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
So yeah,
Terrible.
that was strange.
You have a lot of food related
Um,
stories this week.
Yes. But speaking of food, we did have a good food experience. We went on Saturday to Marugame
Nope.
down at South Coast.
What's that?
So it's directly downstairs from Din Tai Fung. So
Okay.
you'll know it from the large lines of people. It is an udon shop.
Yum.
Sounds good.
And it's almost cafeteria style. So you walk in and you grab a tray and get in line. And the first station is you ordering one of a dozen or so different udons.
I have a question.
And then go for it.
The trays.
Yes.
Can you take them out of the restaurant?
You mean like, are you allowed to take them out of the restaurant, or can
I'm-
you take a tray and run with it?
Is there a
Trying to
chance?
steal a tray.
Is there a chance you could get this food, since it's sort of like a buffet line,
Mm-hmm.
to go ish, where you could eat it, possibly say upstairs while you wait in line?
For your soup dumplings?
Yeah.
I think I saw to-go containers.
All right.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure you
That's
could
my new
order
plan.
it to go.
I'm going
and
to
they might-
Udon, and then I'm going to go wait for soup dumplings upstairs with my udon bowl.
There you go.
All right. What's this place?
So yeah,
like?
you order one of your dozen or so different varieties of udon, and then you keep going with your tray, and they have hot trays of shrimp tempura and like all the different tempuras, shrimp and veggie and crab. They have potato croquettes. They had, what else did they have that we grabbed? They have musubi. They have onigiri. And
Everything.
you basically go down the line and just sort of grab their single pieces of each, and it's got the pricing per single piece, and then you get to the end of the line and they ring you up.
Cool.
And they actually have solved one of my pet peeves about restaurants that get really busy. While you are in line, they have a staff member walking down the line asking you how many people are in your party, and then they give you a number if you are eating there, and they sit a corresponding number on an empty table.
So
Oh,
there's
that's
nobody
smart.
just table
Yes.
squatting?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
Yes, very smart.
The table
Especially in a place
squatter.
like that where I imagine, table squatting is definitely a thing.
Yeah, there's not a ton of seating, and if you go like at lunchtime or at dinner time, they from what I've heard always have a long line. So we went middle of the afternoon on a Saturday, and it was perfect.
Great.
The slow
Man.
time.
I had dinner already, but I'm hungry again now.
Yeah. I mean, let's do it. Is there a ramen shop open at this time? I don't. We can get there.
Yes, of course, there is a ramen shop open somewhere at this time.
Also,
Isn't
it's
that
not
a
Udon,
universal
I know.
law?
I know it's not Udon, okay? Don't email.
Sometimes you just need ramen, though. Sometimes you just need to inject that like salty tastiness straight into your clogged pores and your clogged veins.
The pores is an interesting thing. Wait a
I
minute.
mean, it goes there first. And
I'd
then
like to unpack
that's how you absorb it in.
An
like
udon, a spa that has udon steam baths.
You haven't fully ramen unless you steam yourself first.
It's like
That's awesome.
stand your face over the boiling hot pot where they have all the ramen cooking.
Ooh, hot pot.
Be the katsu.
We should do hot pot. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
I had some hot pot at the end of last week. That was good. Always good.
Man. Woof. Are we good with food talk?
Yeah. Well, so moving on from food,
he's not
No,
good
I
with
was
food
gonna say,
talk.
moving on from food, we did another big thing this weekend.
Oh yeah, we got to
Um,
talk about this machine.
Yes, the wife bought a new car.
The machine.
Nice.
Is it named yet?
I don't believe it is named yet.
How did you circumvent? This is a good start to this, JJ. Get ready. How did you circumvent the fact that you shouldn't have bought this car that is currently under recall?
It turns out that not all of them are under recall.
Yep. I was just about to say it's got to be a thing where like
It is a
Only-
subset of the line that is
Only
under
some of-
recall.
only
Where
some
they
of the
were
VIN
made,
numbers.
which type of airbags were in them,
Mhm.
etc.
Right. So they were under recall for a sensor in the rear seat belts. And so I guess, a certain lot number they had to recall to have them repair the sensor. And the first dealership that we were talking to, the only ones that they could find were subject to the recall.
Ah. Okay. Toyota
Corolla Hybrid.
Cool.
hybrid.
Yep.
So high MPG, non-electric.
5253.
I mean,
Highway.
Well,
It's
that's city highway.
Combine.
It's
Wow.
it's electric in the same way a Prius is electric, right? There is electricity being involved there for sure.
essentially a gas generator running an electric motor, right?
Yes, yeah. So it's electric power to the wheels and all that, but the gas is kind of there just to extend the range a lot.
Yeah, not a bad plan. It's a good car. It'll last
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
I mean, the one we traded in was her 03 Corolla.
In between those two vehicles, other than the fact that this one's probably got a ton of get up and go compared to the other. I mean, noticeable differences between decades of Corollas.
The body shape is a little bit different. So the new the hybrid is the 2020. It's the first year that they've had it in the States, but it's not a brand new car.
Okay. Non-hatch
Um,
or hatch?
Non-hatch.
Sedan.
Yep.
Traditional.
The profile is a little lower, so it's not the car itself is not quite as tall, and you sit a little bit lower compared to the other one.
aerodynamics.
Mhm. Yeah, like everything that has been around, every car that has been around for 20 years or so, they've kind of streamlined the shape of it.
Sure.
I'm gonna guess that the obvious stuff that's different is like, hey, this one has Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. I
Hey,
wasn't
like there's
I
a
was-
screen.
I wasn't getting to that
Yes.
stuff. It was more like hey, they've changed cars over the last 15 years and we don't remember that cars used to have this or...
Well, so on one thing, they have gone all the way around to it being not in cars anymore, and that is a CD player.
Yep.
Is there still an ashtray? I feel like a Toyota would be the last vestige of the cigarette lighter ashtray.
No, I don't think there is.
You know,
I think in order to get one of those, when I bought my car, which is already more than 10 years ago, I think you had to option in the cigarette lighter ashtray.
There is the round 12-volt jack, though.
Sure, but it's just a jack with a little cap on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Welcome to the no, that's still the 21st century. The new decade?
It's new. That's a brand new car, man. 2020. That's
2020. It's a new decade car.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. It's got that smell.
It does have that smell.
Sounds like everybody had an eventful
Some people
weekend.
really like that smell. I'm not really a fan. Am I weird?
Yes. But
You might be in the
are you weird
minority.
because of that, or are you weird?
Well, I mean, yeah. But like, am I weird because of not liking the smell?
Not liking the probably toxic outgassing plastic? No, not at all.
Hey. It could be toxic outgassing leather cleaner.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that.
Okay. My bad.
You solve that problem with the outgassing plastic by buying a leather interior, which then you get different smells.
My car's seats are leather and microfiber, so I got both.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if the new car has this, but our seats are heated and cooled.
Okay, so are they actually cooled or are they just ventilated?
No. There is if you look under the chair, a pipe that connects to the AC unit.
Okay, it blows cold air.
It blows cold air through the seat.
Okay. Because that's the thing that I've seen, like, people are like, oh, I get, like, heated and cooled seats. And then what they actually mean is it just blows air. And it's like, that's not the same thing as cold air.
Right.
But
it gives you that weird feeling like you peed yourself.
What?
It is having ridden in his car, it is a little weird the first time you turn it on.
Yeah, especially on a day when it's kind of really hot. And then you get the coolness on your back and stuff. You're like, I'm wet.
Unexpected, yeah.
Yeah. So I take it you did not go for the cooled seats.
No. Well, the Corolla Hybrid is interesting because at the moment there is only one model style and you can't really customize anything with it.
Oh,
so you take it as it comes.
You
basically.
get the Model T.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, if it was even an option. Toyota actually has a surprisingly few options available on their cars. It's like, there's this one, there's the middle trim level, and then there's the high trim level. And it's like, which of these three do you want? There's really no options other than that.
It's kind of the joke I was getting at earlier about the cigarette lighter thing. Their motors run forever because they're ancient in their design, not in their age or anything, and they tweak them and stuff. But like Toyota in general, their strategy is, if this is going to work, it's going to be something we invest a ton of money in, and then it's going to work forever. And then you have to like drag them to change it, you know?
Yeah, if it ain't broke.
Yeah, and that includes interiors and everything else. So you like, it's kind of shocking that you're saying to me that there's no CD player left in that car, because I'd imagine they've had a center stack that has worked for them for quite some time that they were very happy to try and reuse before somebody told them, hey, this is our new hybrid model. You got to get a little fancy inside.
Well, what's funny about it is that we were standing in the lobby at one point, waiting on the next stage in the process yesterday, because car buying is a process.
God, literally the thing I hate the most.
I pre-did our new Leaf. We got a Nissan Leaf a while ago. I think we talked about it on this show. I pre-did all the negotiating, everything else. So we showed up there. We talked about one thing, and it still took hours.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is truthfully and honestly the reason I advocate so much for my credit union's car buying service, because I never want to do this. They show up at my house with paperwork. We sign the paperwork. They get a big check or a wire transfer. We have the car. They leave. Best experience of my life.
Nice.
The way car buying should be, except not CarMax.
Anyway,
if you want to sponsor
Michael.
this podcast, CarMax, I'll take it back. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. I actually did mean to derail you because that's the brand, but...
Where was I? No, we were standing in the lobby, and they had a big banner up for their in-tune system, which is Toyota's version of their infotainment package.
Ooh.
And the hybrid comes with just the standard in-tune. And I guess they have, like you were saying, there are 3 different levels. And the middle level, the in-tune plus, comes with a CD player.
I see.
So we've come full circle to now a CD player is a fancy upgrade.
God, what world is this?
Hold on.
Flat circle.
Hold on. No. It's not. You're looking at this all wrong. It's like the theory of taxing things that are bad for you. So like alcohol and cigarettes. If you don't want people to use them, put extra taxes on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you really shouldn't be using a CD player at this point
Andrew,
in your life.
Are you saying a CD player is a sin tax?
Yes. Yes, I am. You were forced to make a better decision.
This is what you get for trying to listen to CD quality audio. Darn you! Where is your OGG player and your .FLAC player? This is horrible. Listening to CD music.
CDs are fine. I mean, you can have lossless CDs. Most of them are not.
Exactly. That was my point.
And especially that, I bet you that CD player was not an MP3 reading CD player.
Oh yeah, doubtful. No. You have to buy aftermarket to get one of those.
Well, see, the Toyotas come with like the main options and then the SR5 package, and that's usually about it. Oh, or limited. Also limited. So yeah, 3 levels. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad business model. It's just probably frustrating for people that are used to the BMW a la carte. How much money do you want to add into your car that no one will ever see?
Yeah, it's a lot of like it's a different philosophy, right? Toyota's like, look, we have to make 8 million of each one of these options because we're going to sell them all. So we're not doing. Do you want like to mix and match? No, we have to make 8 million of these. This is how we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas BMW's like, we're gonna make like 100,000 maybe, or 1,000 in some cases. Like, you just pick what you want, and we'll do it at the factory. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like, hey, do you want that? You want that cigarette lighter? How about $100? Do you want Apple CarPlay? How about $100? And then they get you there.
Oh man, they used to get you.
Used to get you?
They used to get you with cables.
Oh, that was a thing up until I believe their most recent version of their infotainment thing on BMWs. It's insane.
Yeah, there's a USB looking port in here that you could totally try and use your USB with, but unless it's a BMW branded cable, it won't handshake correctly.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then if your dealer is trying to be nice to you, they're like, we'll throw this cable in for you. You're like, oh, wow, thanks, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, you made me buy the $5,000 navigation package or whatever that I didn't want.
It's like a sleight of hand trick. Look over here.
Cars are the worst.
They are the most essentially worst thing.
So, guys, let's talk about something else. Here's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
I played. I don't know what to call this kind of a game. It's almost an idle game. Do you know? We talked about idle games on here before,
Cookie
right?
Clicker.
Right. So, like, Cookie Clicker is like a classic idle game, right? Eventually, you start getting things that click for you.
I think I recommended an idle game on this podcast, which was the one in space.
Yeah, the potato one.
Yeah,
that one has an ending.
It does. That's why I liked it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. Space Plan, maybe? Space something?
Space Plan? Space Plan sounds right.
No, it's not Space Plan. Anyway.
Okay. Go.
Whatever. I'm playing a different game. So this game is it's free. It's on Steam right now. You can go download it if you want. It's called Split or Steal.
Steal or Split?
Split
or Steal is the name of it.
Split or Steal is the name of this game.
I feel like I saw this the other day.
This game is a prisoner's dilemma game wrapped in an idle game.
Okay. Space Plan is right, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. Good job, Brain. Thanks, brain. You figured it out. No, so Split or Steal is the name of this game. There is an idle game kind of around the periphery, but the core of the game, the thing you do if you actually play the game, is you join the queue, and the queue comes up and finds you a match. In the match, it's you versus another person in a bank vault with a table between you, and there's money on the table. You have two options and a chat window. The first option is Split. Second option is Steal, and then lock your choice. And you can chat to the other person if you want.
Uh-oh. Do you live chat with actual typing?
Yes, of course.
Oh, no.
I have not found there to be too much problematic stuff in there. I'm sure it exists. There are tools to immediately after, if there's any problems, you can report the people. And they seem to be relatively zealous about banning people, and the chat filters are relatively good, at least from what I've seen.
Okay.
So, but it works like the prisoner's dilemma, right? If both players split, the money is split between them, and they both move on. You rank up to the next tier, where the amount of money on the table increases. If one player steals and the other player splits, the stealer gets all the money. If both players steal, no one gets anything and everyone loses.
If one player steals and the other splits, do both people rank up?
No.
Neither person? Or just the stealer?
The stealer ranks up, the split person is out.
Okay.
And you then all your money is gone and you are reset back to the bottom of the tier list. So it's like you start at tier 1, you can go all the way up to tier 10. Money increases each time.
What happens once you hit 10? You just recycle to 1?
At 10, you cash out and you can get all the money. You can also stop at any time. So if you think like, oh, I've gotten a lot of money here, I can stop, collect your winnings, and go home.
And the cash goes for helping you play the clicker idle thing?
Absolutely, it does.
Okay, got it.
So there's like an HQ system where you can build buildings and they passively generate coins. They also generate stuff that this game has called karma, which is basically like a reputation kind of system.
Ooh.
You gain reputation when you split, but only like a little bit. You gain like, between 5 and 20 or 30 rep for splitting. And you lose hundreds every time you steal.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
So, then your reputation is sort of shown. So there are a few things you can see about the other player. You can see their name. What organization, if any, they're kind of like guilds or groups in this game. They're limited to 20 members, so you can't have a ton of them, but it's a
Steelers Anonymous,
right? Stuff like that, right? If it's like all steal, no split name for your organization, I might consider that you're not going to be truthful when you tell me that you're going to split with me. You can see their karma. So in like tiers, if it's like between these values, you get this. If you're between these values, you get this. And then you can see the avatar they're using standing next to the table. And then any like lighting effects or whatever, if they have like fun disco lights or weird rave lights or whatever, Canadian flags or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Oh, so you automatically split when you see a Canadian flag, right?
Well, I mean, the trend I've seen is if they are wearing a hot dog costume, they're into splitting. That's what I've seen.
What?
Hot dogs love to
Where's
split,
the
man.
correlation there?
Start
Hot
over.
dogs
What?
love to split, man.
How do you get a hot dog costume, and what is it?
First
on? What is it on?
I mean, just your little player guy standing next to the table in the bank vault.
Oh, you have like an avatar. Okay.
Yeah, sure, yeah. A hot dog by its very nature is already split, right? Like it's you split the bun open to put the hot dog in.
No, the bun is split, but the hot dog isn't, unless you split the hot dog like some kind of animal.
There's also a building in the HQ that's called the like hot dog stand or something like that. Hot Dog Express, I think is what it's called. That produces karma and gives you a bonus to splitting. So like then there's all these kinds of like bonuses you get for playing the game. Oh, you build this building and you get 3% more coins when you split, or this one gives you 1.5% more when you steal, or these kinds of things. And then your organization contributes these points as well. And so on and so forth.
Does this run through a game, or is this a website, or what?
No, it's a game. It's on Steam. You can go get it. Free to play.
Oh, only on Steam?
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea where else it might be.
Okay.
Might be other places too.
Fair.
I didn't do any research.
Fair point.
But so, I mean, this is the whole game, right? So it starts to get pretty tense when you have like hundreds of thousands of coins on the line and you're going into the high tiers. So once you get to increase the tension here, once you get to tiers 8, 9, and 10, they call it high stakes. And all of a sudden, you can't see any information about the other player anymore. All you can see is their avatar and their lighting effects and the chat window. All the other stuff is listed as anonymous.
Well, then what's the point of getting rep if once you're in the high stakes, you don't know, like you can't convince people that you have high rep?
Well, there are things you can do to convince people you have high rep, like use the same lighting and effects that people with high rep use, or because you can buy all of them, right? Like with in-game currency.
Okay.
Or act like you're part of a guild that you're not part of, or there's a whole because it's all social, right? So you can just talk to the other person and be like, hey, I'm a hot dog here. I'm definitely here to split with you like all the hot dogs are. Yep, that's me, Mr. Hot Dog.
This video definitely shows a man in a hot dog costume fighting a pirate.
The top review on Steam right now is hot dog always splits.
See? I told you.
So don't dress as a pirate.
I mean, I don't know, dress as whatever you want. There's also like orc costumes, there's knight costumes, there's like weird robots and like divine karmic Hindu gods and all kinds of weird stuff in there. Man, this interface is very straightforward. Yeah, there's literally nothing to this game. It's free. Look, let me tell you, okay? You're not paying a lot here. The game also obviously sells stuff. It has like a coin doubler that you can buy that will literally do what it says. I think you start at tier 3 instead of tier 1, and then you also like get double coins instead of not. And you could do that. You could also, buy all kinds of, single use coins and JJ, this says you've played this game for 5 hours. Yeah, man.
Well, at a certain point, do you just play the split or steal part and then set the idler going and walk away and do something and then come back to the next?
Good question. As far as I can tell, the idle thing doesn't actually the game doesn't need to be open to be accruing those.
It's running on a server clock.
Yeah. So you will be generating the bonuses for yourself 100% of the time currently, whether you're playing or not. But your organization bonuses drop off if you're not online, like one game every 24 or 48 hours or something like that. I think it's 48 hours.
Well, that's pretty generous.
Yeah. And the game's pretty new, so, who knows? They're still tweaking the game. But it's very silly. And it really is just fun to log in and just be, because like, here's the thing, right? There's two, you get like, oh, the hot dogs always split. The people always do that. And you get to like the top levels when everything's anonymous. And then you're just like, I can't trust anyone. Because like the prisoner's dilemma, right? The classic problem of what it is. The way to win is just always split, right? If you always split and everyone else always splits, everyone always comes out ahead.
Yeah, but someone will steal.
That's the problem. Mm-hmm. And so that you get to like, tier 10 and you're sitting there. It's like, all right, this is my last match. I have all this money banked up. And you come across a person with a default avatar, no lighting.
Oh, no.
And they say nothing and lock in their choice immediately.
Oh, you're like, no.
What do I do? So it's a fun way to spend some time. And like, you get into silly discussions with people. At one point I was using a tourist costume, like a guy who looks like he's on vacation, but has no idea where he's going. And I pretended to be lost all the way on my way to Splitsville all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, hello, friend, I'm looking for Splitsville. Can you help me get there? It was like pretty silly. I don't know. The game is dumb and fun in a way that I've spent about like 5 hours over the last week or so playing. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stick with it because the things start getting expensive in a way that I don't actually want to devote my time to playing to get to. But I'm enjoying the silliness of it. Like, every day log in for a minute and be like, this is silly. And then, all right, I'm good.
Small doses kind of game.
Yeah. So it's kind of been me. What about you guys? Andrew, anything?
Oh, I have been doing small doses for a long time and not talking about Pokemon Go. Because it's kind of just been a background thing where it's just like, oh, I'm going to a place I haven't been, or we're at Disneyland, I'll pop this open and see what's here. But it hasn't been a thing I've maybe kept up on a ton.
Not going out and actively raiding the liquor store or whatever near your house anymore.
Exactly. Except for this weekend when I decided I needed a break from breaking concrete. They had a community day for one of the Pokemon, which means like you go out and every single spawn is now, Pikachu or whatever it is, right? There's a gajillion of them, and there's thousands of people wandering around doing stuff in the crowded spots where there are tons of gyms and stops and all that sort of stuff. Which I've done before, and it's fine, and it was a fun time. Ryan was there. We had a good time. We all got a perfect IV Rhyhorn. It was great. And a lot of shinies for trading or whatever. Hit me up, podcast at wewergamers.com.
Please.
They added something to this game that I have to describe to you for a minute because I can't decide if it's good or bad. Yo, what if Pokemon Go had a battle pass?
Sure.
Okay.
So they added this a while ago. I've been too afraid to touch it because they don't really explain how it works. And in fact, when I finally tried it, they didn't explain how it worked. Just sort of give it a shot. They added a new battle mode called Go Battle League. Go Battle League is the name of it, which is not a great name.
Go Battle League Pass.
Yeah, but you need a pass, which you could be premium or not premium. Hint, don't do premium. Not worth it. Okay. You have to walk 3 kilometers to get an entry for your battle pass. After you get an entry for your battle pass, you do 5 battles in a row against another player. Different players each time. So 5 different players. You 5 battles in a row, and based on those wins, you get in-game rewards. Obviously, if you want to spend money on the premium battle pass, like every other premium battle pass, you get better rewards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time you walk 3 kilometers, you get another entry. You can, of course, pay to enter early with coins if you want to.
Of course.
Of course you can.
Got to be able to pay to win, man. That's how these games work.
Yeah, so in this game, there are 3 levels of battling. Basically, how strong your Pokemon are. For numbers' sake, each Pokemon has like a level, a number that just boils down how strong they are to one number, which isn't, if you're really into the game, how to know things, but that's how they cap these leagues off, which is 1,500, 2,500, and then unlimited. So I clicked the button thinking, I'll play in the 1,500 area because I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's like, your only option, thanks for clicking the battle pass already and you can't back out of it, is 2,500. Hope you have some Pokemon ready for that.
What?
Did you get good?
I proceeded to run into 3 people who I lost barely to. A walkover victory of someone who threw out a bunch of 30, not 300, not 3,000, 30 level Pokemon. And lost the other one. So I won 1 in my first go. There's a lot to know about battling in that game. Like a lot. If you're really good at it, you'll know intrinsically what types fight what types. I don't know anything about meta or anything like that. And what people are picking, but it seems like high HP Pokemon are the way to go because then they stay alive longer.
I mean, it's a hot take. Not dying is pretty good.
Yeah.
Tanking damage.
If you're fire and he's water, maybe you should switch Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. I don't want to get into the semantics of the fights as much as I can't tell if it's a good thing or bad thing for me personally or for the game overall. for people to essentially need to have, what was it called when you had in Warcraft, JJ, level 19 characters for Battlegrounds that were like tricked out?
Oh, like twinked out, like leveled characters. It's like specifically built for like, I'm going to play at the highest level in this bracket that is possible without going over.
So I found out later that the Go Battle League every 2 weeks rotates the cap of how high the Pokemon are you can fight with. So week 1 through 2 is 1,500, 2 through 4 is 2,500, and week 3 is unlimited. And you have to fight in those leagues. So, like, I can't fight in the unlimited league, right? I don't have anything above 2,500. So why I can't fight in the unlimited league. But I could fight in the 1,500 league. Does it add the ability now for people to be like leveling Pokemon to 14.99 and having that be like its own meta? This is going to be crazy. This is a relatively new feature. They're still in the first season. They're calling it the preseason. So I'm sure they're working on a lot of this stuff, but
let me tell you about another game with a battle pass like this. It was called Dota, is still called Dota Underlords.
Yeah.
And I think they were in their preseason for like 6 to 8 months.
I see.
So,
be prepared for changes.
Sure. Buckle up.
Yeah, I'm sure that that Pokemon Go updates a little bit faster than Dota Underlords does.
Yeah, they probably make a magnitude worth of money more on Pokemon Go than Underlords.
Phones, for sure. But they both are supposed to be similar, like high update rate type games.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm sure that this is their preseason trial of this stuff, and they're just trying to like see how things work. And then it will change drastically by the time it comes out, season 1 or whatever in 2 months or whatever, however long it takes them.
It seems like there is a small amount of strategy to the actual fights and knowing when to shield and when to use your ultimates and things like that.
I mean, if you want to get into high-level Pokemon play, that is a thing.
I don't.
And there are like people who are
I don't want to do that. You can stop.
And
we don't need this.
Skillful,
we don't need this. We don't.
I feel like that's why you're playing Pokemon Go in the first place.
Yeah, see? I'm doing it on my phone in my spare time.
Except that they're doing it again, apparently.
Oh, hey, hold on. A shout out to the little, I think she's like 6 or 7-year-old girl that just won the Oceania Pokemon tournament, like the Nintendo Switch Pokemon Sword and Shield tournament game for juniors. She beat a kid that was like age 12.
Yeah, I think in the like under 12 and under division or something.
12 and under. This little girl,
kid,
Simone, whooped. I think her name was Simone, wrecked a guy. You should go watch this. It's actually, you can kind of instantly understand what has happened here in the 5-second clip of this great. She's so great. It's awesome. She makes a perfect read on what the older by at least 5 years opponent is going to do. Uses the right attack on the right thing and wins, and then is just sitting there in shock that she won. It's great. Pokemon is cool sometimes. That's cool. All I have to say about that. I don't know. I was taken aback by the little Pokemon Go update because I hadn't noticed it before we did this community day thing, so I was just going to say it's out there, and it's an interesting update that I can't tell if it's good or not. There you have it. It's all
Michael?
good.
Nice.
Have you been up to anything?
I have been diving deeper into Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
So I unlocked the last of the runes that you get. So, Andy, I don't know. You haven't played this one, right?
I definitely have not.
Okay, you're the one who has not played.
Which one?
Breath of the Wild.
Wild.
Oh.
You know the one on the Switch.
No, I haven't played this one yet.
Okay,
No.
so neither of you has played it.
No, I don't know why my brain just fritzed and was like, yeah, I've played every Zelda except for the one that you're talking about. And then I was like, so what is he talking about? Oh, it must be, I don't know. The dust is getting to me.
So in this one, unlike in a lot of the previous Zelda games, you get certain abilities almost right off the bat. So in the early going of the game, and you have them to use throughout the game. And you can upgrade their strength as the game goes on, but you have them almost from the very start. And one of the last ones that you get is the camera rune. And it allows you to take pictures of anything you want to take pictures of. And so there are some main quests and side quests that involve you taking pictures of certain things and bringing the pictures back to different characters to show them proof of X and Y. But one of the interesting things that they did in this game that I don't know that I have seen another game do was they have tied the camera to your let's call it your collectopedia.
Collectopedia?
Right. So it's your...
I don't like that word.
It's by that I mean it's your bestiary and your weapons and armor compendium.
They have a word for this called encyclopedia.
No, it's called collectopedia. He just said.
But you know what I'm talking about. So you'll play.
So hold on. For the kids, it's your in-game wiki.
Yeah, sort of.
We have to try and speak to the kids. We're not making it in that demo.
I see.
Yeah.
Is that our target audience?
Nope.
Hello, fellow children. We are here to be cool with you. Let us talk about Fortnite now.
I was going to say, none of us play Fortnite.
We could do that.
Anyway, let's talk about Breath of the Wild.
We could fail miserably at Fortnite. I can show you guys how. It's great. I have a stormtrooper costume in that game.
Oh, Andrew, I just found out I really have to be shampooing my hair that night. Sorry, bro. I just have this insatiable need. I can't not do that.
Head and Shoulders, if you'd like to sponsor this podcast.
There you go. Yes.
That seems right. That's on target. All right, back to the Zelda wiki in-game.
So, JJ, if you're playing through a Castlevania game, you have a list of all the enemies, and they show up as you defeat them, right? Pretty standard practice?
Yeah, it's like there's question marks here, and then you kill a guy, and now you see what it is.
Exactly.
You kill like 10 of them, and then now you can see that they
have what they drop.
A 1% chance to drop a thing that you're never going to see.
Exactly. So what if they implemented a feature where instead of you beating the enemy to find out what it drops and where you can find it regularly, you have to take its picture?
I was just about to say as a joke, what if you were friends?
That sounds tedious.
Yeah. So you have to take a picture of the enemy before they show up in your bestiary in this. But what makes that even more fun is that they don't stop while you pull out the camera.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they're going to murder you, they're still trying to murder you, whether you're taking their picture or not.
Yeah. So
I mean, lions don't care if you're taking their picture; they're still going to eat you.
Exactly.
True. So yeah, it's an interesting mechanic. There are ways to cheese it a little bit with everything that isn't an enemy.
Could you find a telephoto lens, maybe, and then take spy photos from a tree?
So there is a zoom feature
as
part of it that you can use. Right. So if you've snuck up on an enemy, or you can take pictures of the native wildlife, and some of them will run from you if you get too close. So you have to sneak up on them to get a picture. But yeah, so there is a way to cheese part of it, which is that if you have weapons or shields or cooking ingredients, you can take them out of your inventory and just drop them on the ground and then take a picture of them, and that counts.
I love it.
What do these blueberries do? Snap.
Oh, let me just drop them. Picture. Let me pick up these blueberries here.
Oh, that's funny. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. the game, has a similar wiki built into it, but you basically slice things apart with your lightsaber and then your droid scans it afterwards.
The more sensible.
Yeah, it seems safer.
Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly safer. A more civilized weapon.
Has this yielded any either extremely funny moments or like infuriating ones for you where you're like, I can't get a picture of that without dying? Or
there have been one or two moments where I've been trying to get a picture and just got.
Mm-hmm.
I can just picture this idea where you're like creeping up on this giant enemy with a camera, and it like hears you and turns around to start attacking, and you're like frantically running away, trying to put the camera away and pull out a sword, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely some of that, or where you, in the action of pulling out the camera, the enemy you're trying to take a picture of moves out of screen.
No.
And because it's that zoomed in sort of slow pan, like you're using a sniper rifle. You're slower than they are, and all of a sudden they're right in front of you, and you have a split second to be like, oh no, before the screen goes black.
The game has durability in it, right?
It does. So it has durability built into all of the shields and the weapons.
So
not the armor, fortunately.
Does your camera have like film capacity, or is it digital?
So you can take up to 48 pictures.
Oh no.
Before it's full. I don't know if there's a way to expand that, but you can also take a slew of pictures and then go through and delete them. And if it's things that are added to your encyclopedia, those pictures stay in there.
Okay, so it's like
you can have 48
like 48
active pictures at a time, but if it's something that the game wants you to have information on, that information and that picture are stored.
Does anyone tell Link that bigger SD cards are always on sale on Amazon like every week?
Exactly.
I think Amazon was destroyed by Calamity Ganon.
Oh man, is that so that's part of the expansion, right? The Ganon thing? Or not expansion, the next game.
Spoilers, I guess?
I think it's just speculation still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calamity
I'm pretty sure,
Ganon. What a name.
I mean, the Calamity Ganon, right, is what they call him?
The Calamity Ganon?
I don't think so. I think they just call him Calamity.
Do you think the Calamity Ganon would be a bad costume because he would always steal?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Ganon in general, don't trust a Ganondorf, you know?
Ganondorf, yeah.
Oh,
for sure. Well, hold on. Maybe
that guy is out to conquer.
No, we're inching into a oopsie territory by saying you can't trust a Ganondorf, you know what I mean?
I mean, okay. I understand what you're saying here, but I'm also saying I don't trust Ganon. I don't trust Ganondorf.
Don't profile a Ganondorf, buddy.
Fair. Look, Gerudos are fine. Ooh, Ganondorf himself is not.
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
That guy is known to be a villain.
Criminal Gerudo is a descriptor, not a profile. Please.
I'm not trying to make myself out looking bad here, but
you know what
in
has
this particular
a lot of
instance, that guy is known to be a thief.
Yeah. You know what has a lot of profiling in it? The Witcher.
Yeah. It's a game based on folklore, so
and a lot of like
see where it comes from.
Open racism.
Are we talking about the game or the show or both?
I haven't played the games. I have to admit.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my understanding, at least from what I saw of the show, which is all of it, is that it follows the books pretty closely and therefore is probably relatively faithful in some degrees, you know, TV-wise to the source material there.
There's a like weird, it's okay to be racist because it's fantasy thing.
I don't know if that's what they're trying to get across there. I don't know that they're saying that it's okay to be racist. Okay. It's just that the people are racist, because they certainly are.
They certainly are. Very.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's a thing.
In that.
And that is in the games as well, by the way. There are specifically people aren't too fond of elves.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's a big thing. People
like
are
genocidally are not fond of elves.
Yeah, people are like mega racist against elves in that world.
I'm liking the show so far. We're about 4 episodes in.
I would love to discuss it with you at some point, perhaps when you have finished it.
Okay. There's a thing that has happened or been clarified, I guess.
Maybe.
Which I think a lot of people probably complained about now that I've put it into context. I don't know if I should say it because it's kind of... it's not... Yeah, it's a little bit of a spoiler, huh?
But maybe it doesn't matter.
I don't know. It's up to Michael.
I will probably wind up watching it at some point.
Okay. Maybe we should leave it.
All right. Well, I suspect I know what you're talking about, and I think, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it when we talk about it later, because I do want to talk about that show. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I am enjoying it. I think that I understand. Okay. There's a thing with the telling of the story. We can do this without a spoiler here, so the people that have watched it know what I'm talking about.
Narrative device?
There's a narrative device that is used in this show that I think people complained about, that I understand why it was confusing, because I didn't catch on to it until it was explicit.
Yeah. I know. Agreed. 100% agreed with what you're talking about.
But if you go back to the first episode, which I did, the clues are there.
Oh, they certainly are. It's
and
intentional.
They're much more direct than I thought they were.
The people who made it knew what they were doing, and they set out to do this specific narrative thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they just didn't tell you up front that they were doing it.
So I'm going to say I like it, but I'm not sure that it's good.
Yeah.
Until I finish the show.
Yeah, like I say, when you get to the end, I will be curious to see how you feel about the whole situation.
Can I comment on Henry Cavill first before we talk about it later?
That jawline.
That jawline, dude. I don't know if there was supposed to be a better Geralt of Rivia, but after having seen him play Geralt of Rivia, I kind of dig it.
Yeah, I was super skeptical when they announced it. And when they started showing the shots and stuff, I was like, dude, I don't know. This guy looks just like someone put a wig on Superman. It's weird. I don't know if I like it.
Okay, so this week I'll actually remember to bleep this. But I love when he just sort of looks at the camera and he uses that gruff Geralt voice when things are just going completely sideways. He just looks at the camera and goes, "Fleep."
Yep. I know which part you're talking about. It's so good.
It happens more than once. It's a good joke the first time, and you're like, that's really funny. And then the second time, yeah. Yeah. It was a good payoff the second time. Considering
that show
the first
is good.
time.
I enjoy that show. I'm excited for them to do season 2.
Yeah, they just started filming.
Yeah.
In production. So spoilers, I guess. Don't be too worried when Geralt's in trouble.
Look, man.
I guess
if there's a character with plot armor,
yeah,
Geralt of Rivia in the show about Geralt of Rivia is probably the one.
Is the show about Geralt of Rivia?
It's called The Witcher.
Yeah, but there are more than one. I guess you could be sucked into thinking there's more than one Witcher. But
it's called The Witcher. It's not called A Witcher.
Yeah.
Or Witchers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that line. I like that line because I don't, like I said, I haven't played any of the games. I actually was trying to install GOG Galaxy before we started this because I bought Thronebreaker because I liked this show so much.
Dude, Thronebreaker is fun. Here's what I'll tell you about Thronebreaker, though. That game is way more about like the world of The Witcher than it is about like the lore, characters of The Witcher.
The lore of The Witcher story. So what?
Yeah.
Where does this story fit into the games? Is this like the first game?
So this, the TV show is the story, at least my understanding is stories from the books and of the way the world of the books is set up. The games are their own thing.
They just use the world and do their own thing?
My understanding is like the first, I never played Witcher 1. Witcher 2 kind of took the world and then did its own kind of spin on some of the events that happened there and kind of followed this rebellion that didn't really happen this way in the books, and then kind of made a whole thing about it. And then,
are you talking about the guy that captures him?
No, it's not in the show at all.
Different rebellion? Okay.
Totally not a thing that you see.
Got it.
And then the third game is just its complete own thing, although some of the aspects of the books are touched on there, the later books, which I haven't read. And the TV show kind of touches on some of the stuff that happens in The Witcher 3, but not, again, The Witcher 3 goes way past it, and then it's kind of just all its own thing at that
I've
point.
been really excited to watch it because every time I come across something else that was in the Gwent card game that gets explained in the show, I'm like, oh, so that's what Scoia'tael or whatever.
Yeah,
like, that's what that faction is about. Or like, oh, okay, the Northern Kingdoms. Yeah, I know the names of these. Like, I can explain how these are all connected. If these are the Temerians and these are the this and the
Redanians and the if you like that, you should play a game called The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3, because they literally do this for a lot of the characters you see in the show. They're on different arcs in the games, but they're doing, these are those people, and you can tell that they were modeled after the same characters because some of them are very much that way.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
And some of the episodes of the show are literal quests in the games that you like go on and you do that event and that thing happens. It's cool.
Okay. Well, it seems like we're like arcing out of the setup phase now that the narrative device thing has been, and that now that we're out of the setup phase, maybe things will happen.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll talk when you get to the end. I'm curious.
Okay, is Yaskir a cool guy in the games or semi-annoying like he is in the show?
His name in the games is Dandelion, and he is a buffoon. Although I would say he's more of like a idle rich playboy type character in the games than a like plucky down on his luck bard type guy.
Okay. Dandelion. I know that guy from the card game too.
Yeah, that is the bard from the games.
Got it. Well, if you have non-spoilery comments on The Witcher, where would you send them?
You could send those to podcast@wewergamers.com. You could also send them to our social media, where we will happily engage with you. We're on facebook.com/wewergamers. You can search for We Were Gamers on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram @wewergamers. We would love to hear from you in all those places. And this very podcast, in fact, is available on all podcasting platforms that we've been able to find. Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts, all that stuff. Find this podcast wherever you hear it, and keep doing that, please.
much like drywall dust, we are everywhere.
We're trying.
Much like drywall dust, we're not trying very hard. Okay, but I didn't waste my money on Thronebreaker, right?
No, Thronebreaker is fun.
Okay.
It is just not...
You don't have to qualify it. I just wanted to... Yes,
it is fun.
Okay.
It is fun. It is just not the like, if you're looking to like say, hey, what's up with Geralt? Like, not going to find out.
Got it.
Oh, I really like this specific person. Not going to meet him. Like, so, but it is a story in that world. And if you like that world and the stories it tells.
Yeah.
Everybody get their free copy of Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm opening it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do that. What are you doing? Come on.
I do. What am I doing?
I feel like you just
that
waited.
was a joke, but no, that was a joke. I went a little harder on it than intended. Do I still sound muffly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to We Have Sniffles, the podcast about how there's too much dust in my home and I shouldn't be recording a podcast in it. Hello. Welcome.